This episode is proudly supported by ArtsPay. As a hospitality owner, you know that when it comes to business, the right tools are everything, especially when it comes to payments. ArtsPay, based in Australia, is a payment solution built on a unique model. They give 50% of their profits back to the arts community. They provide world-class point of sale, payments and support that make your operations run smoothly. But with every transaction, a portion of the fees helps build a permanent funding source for Australia's artists and cultural institutions. What's best is it costs less too. The result is a powerful way for your business to grow and become a force for good. You're not just taking payments, you're directly supporting the vibrant culture that makes our communities unique. ArtsPay believes that business should add up for everyone. For more information, go to artspay.com. ArtsPay, it pays to make the change.
Hey everyone, it is Dani Valent here with you for Dirty Linen. Now, we have recorded this podcast in a lot of different places, mostly I have to say from my study in Melbourne, but this podcast is the first one that I've recorded in the back of a bus, and it's the back of a bus that is in Rome, and this was just the best time that I could grab Claudia Paiella, who has been a wonderful guide for a foodie day in Rome. Welcome to Dirty Linen, Claudia.
Oh, thank you very much. We are playing the role of the naughty girls at the back of the bus right now, so it's going to be very fun.
Definitely. And there's no bad place to talk about food. And Rome is certainly a good city to obsess about food. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where food fits into your life.
Okay, let's see. Food fits in my life. I would say that food is pretty much my life. I grew up in Rome, between the walls of one of the most historical trattoria in the historical city center in Rome, just around the corner from the Pantheon. So for my first memory I think it was just running around tables. I'm the third out of three daughters. And now we are, all the three of us, especially us two, so me and my middle sister, we are successfully running the business as the fourth generation. The business the food was created by my father, but the business has been there since 1939, when my great auntie decided to leave Tuscany and sell the family wine in Rome for restaurants. So everything started as a wine wholesaler, and then my father, working for his uncle 60 years ago, turned it into a restaurant. And me and my sister, we're really trying to do the best to keep the business going and make it flourish as it used to. I'm now taking a different role in the restaurant, because since 12 years I created the 3-Inch Fact, which is a company that escort people around Rome and the surroundings, doing food tours, cooking classes, travel hunting, and many other little things.
So Claudia, we have to say it's Enoteca Corsi, right? Because people might want to go there.
Yes, I have to tell you the name. I would love to keep it for myself, but the name is Enoteca Corsi. Enoteca Corsi in Via del Gesù, just behind the Pantheon.
So set the scene for us. What happens at this restaurant? What will people experience when they go there?
So as a local trattoria, you will be jumping into a very old-fashioned style restaurant, which has never been pretty much restored fancy. So it's a very unique experience. Like, you can dine surrounded by bottles, but the spot on is definitely the menu that changes every day based on the Roman schedule of food. So if you go there today, which is Thursday, you'll definitely find gnocchi and parmigiano on the menu. And don't miss out the Friday, because it's salty cod and chickpeas. Saturday trippa, but then you will definitely try the carbonara, grisha, cacio e pepe, and many other Roman dishes, just genuinely cooked with the roe from scratch and using all the suppliers of the local area.
And what do you think it's important for people to understand about Rome and the food here, all these layers of history and immigration? Like, what are some of the things that keep you excited about telling the stories of Rome?
So I have to say that, as I said today at the tour, that Rome and the food and the history, it kind of like match and glued together. Just to give you a little idea of the lasagna, that Rome is like lasagna. So layers of pasta sheets dressed up with parmesan and mozzarella and fresh tomato sauce. And all you can see today about Rome is just the parmesan on top. The Roman food survived on a very traditional base. It means that even if we are nowadays facing more international people also living in Rome, Rome has been very conservative with their food. So if we think that like modern restaurant, they might be a little bit more curious about trying different kind of combination of elements and ingredients, making the food more open to the international window. The local trattoria of Rome, they have kept a very traditional conservative style. So it's very hard to find exotic food on our tables, but definitely a genuine Mediterranean, Roman-based food, daily fresh, daily made.
But I mean, the food tells so many stories. Like, you can think about, you mentioned the Etruscan history today. We can also talk about Jewish Rome. Like, there are so many, as you say, these layers. But the food also tells the stories of the different people that have come here over the centuries.
Definitely, yes. Let's say that even as a Roman girl grown up in Rome, we are still pretty much reporting recipes from the iconic recipe cookbook of Apiccio. So Apicius was one of the first that jot down recipes in the 5th century that were belonging even to a older history from the 1st century, where Romans used to cook with a lot of wild berries and wild boar and cure the meat. And I can say that in a lot of the countryside of Rome, we are still using a lot of those ingredients, like, wild boar cured into bay leaves and different kind of like flavors, which remind you the Mediterranean coast.
You will see a lot of locals, a lot of residential people that live here, real deal, like Italians, coming every day. And they pretty much walk with the little trolley, and they don't really like tourists. I mean, this is for them, it's a daily life. So we will try to be a little bit together and make sure you're always aware of people around you. There might be someone that has to pass by, so please make sure you give them the way to go. Because some of them they love, some of them they give you a bad stare. A lot of them are old people, so they are here very focused on buying. So we try to be a little bit like little ghosts going around.
Visiting the market today and tasting some beautiful local produce, including porcini mushrooms. Like, mushroom season is starting. It's this beautiful cusp with the end of summer. We've still got some tomatoes around, still some zucchini flowers, but they're sort of on the way out. We're starting to see more mushrooms, maybe soon there'll be truffles. It's an amazing sort of cusp of different seasons. But I was really so blown away by the mouthful of porcini, fresh porcini, just with a little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. And the flavour lingered, I reckon, for an hour. Like, that fruitiness, the sweetness, the woodsiness, just the forest floor. It was so intense. I don't know what my question is, but it's something like, how can you stand to live with such beautiful mushrooms?
So that's the secret of Italian food, and that it's pretty unique. Because I love eating international, but I have to say that when it comes out to an Italian recipe, the secret that I can give to you all, guys, is to keep it simple, because if you have a good ingredient, the ingredient will do it all, basically. So what we try today is something quite incredible, because we are stepping into the autumn, and this season has been like the best season since ages about porcini mushrooms. So all the bushes were just full of porcini. It was like if they were just rained down, basically. It's like it's not raining man, it's raining porcini nowadays. So we had the chance to try the freshest porcini, which their flavor can't be covered. It can't be covered with garlic, can't be covered with onion, can't be covered with parmesan. And so just imagine a nice crunchy arugula salad, eating some beautiful beludas, which is the name of the porcini, the spices, the Latin name of the porcini, with maybe a little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, some freshly ground pepper, and a little bit of lemon. So the punchiness of the flavors is pretty much unique, and it's what I suggest you all to try at least once in life.
It was really life-changing, I have to say.
We are in the perfect season of the porcini. So on your left, you will definitely see the king of the mushroom. These are porcini mushrooms. And here we have the lady of the porcini mushrooms.
Devo fare?
Me fai? Come ti chiami, signora mia? Paola. Sorry, but this is Paola. Salutami tutti. Ciao,
Ciao a tutti!
With her beautiful voice, everyone comes here because she's the queen of the porcini. So we will see this year, especially the end of August and the first part of September, has been the most iconic part of the years of many decades, which we have never seen so many beautiful mushrooms like this year. Lots of rain. These are the dry one, and amazing mushroom with no worms, because the right humidity, the right rain, the right shade, the right sun have created those incredible porcini season.
Tell us about the fifth part of the animal.
Definitely, the quinto quarto. I love it in Italian. Sounds much better than the fifth, fourth. But yes, just to give you an idea about how the food in Rome has survived through the years, because Rome has always had to deal with the next door neighbor, the very rich state of the Vatican, which since ages has always been keeping the best part of the animal, which in the butcher language is divided in 4 parts, and has been always leaving the scraps pretty much, so the fifth, fourth of the animal to the people just behind the walls of the Vatican City. So the Romans always had to deal with this very tough, chewy piece of meat. Just think about the tail, the tongue, kidney, or the ossobuco. So parts which are not tender at all. But the Romans, through years and years, they have learned how to make them smooth, sweet, and tender. Just adding some love, like special ingredients, and a lot of patience, because usually those dishes have to cook for very long. So even nowadays, I'm not for the last generation, but I would say that definitely a lot of people queue outside my restaurant on a Saturday to have some very well-made tripe, which, if not sure if everyone knows it, is the stomach of the calf that has been properly cleaned and passionately stewed for hours with celery, carrots, onion, and great tomato sauce. So let's say that if you think that Rome is all about carbonara and matriciana, forget about that. The real Roman food also pretty much involved this fifth, fourth that it's not as popular, but it's definitely part of the culture.
And Claudia, when you first started speaking, I was like, is this girl a bit of an Aussie? Tell me about your connection to Australia.
Oh gosh, sometimes I just pretend I'm Australian. Basically, my older sister, being part of the big family restaurant member, she decided to open the restaurant on the opposite side of the world just to get rid of us, basically. But she did it quite successfully. So 20 years ago, she moved to Melbourne, where she opened a very great restaurant, daily restaurant in the CBD, Queen Street. Not sure if any of you have ever been there. She was one of the first to do aperitivo and Aperol Spritz at that time. It was called Michelangelo Cafe on Queen Street. And I was in the middle of my 20s, and I said to my sister, I'll come and visit you. I can only take 3 weeks off from mom and dad restaurant. I'll come, make the most of it, go back home. So I booked my ticket, stayed for 3 weeks. I came back after 3 years. So I definitely found myself home in Australia, and I was so amazed about the quality of food and about the passion of those chefs that have traveled the world, were putting into their job. And I started working for a small company at that time that now became one of the biggest importer of fine food in all Australia, which is Waimea Trading Gourmet Life. So I found myself home while selling truffle, caviar, mushroom, chanterelle, black trumpet to all the best restaurants of Sydney and Melbourne.
Oh, I love it. Well, I hope you can visit again soon, and probably you won't stay for 3 years but maybe, who knows? I think, we've got a lot of great Italian food and Italian chefs and definitely Italian waiters and restaurant managers in Australia. I think we do it pretty well, but there is nothing like being in Italy and really getting a sense of how anchored the food is in the landscape and the history. And I think also the courage to do things so simply is really standing out to me.
I completely agree. I loved my food experience in Australia, and I found that it's one of the most remarkable I had all around the world. Just after Australia, I think Hong Kong is just catching up with it and having some amazing food experience there. I have to say that what makes the difference when we are upside down on the other side of the hemisphere is a concept of terroir. So when the right plant, it's actually digging the roots in the right land, the magic happens. So I have to say that Italy is a pretty magic place because it can really twist and turn any seeds into something incredibly good. I recently visited Spain, which has amazing food, but I have to tell you that the raw quality of the raw ingredients, like fresh fruit and veggies, is just not there. It's pretty much tasteless compared to what you can grow here. So we are very blessed from this point of view, and I really think it's what people found when they come here, is that little flavor added that it's pretty much impossible to find elsewhere. I have to say that Italy is pretty much protected also from GMO, so it's not allowed. And a lot of passionate people are going back to roots, cultivating and creating new breeds naturally and finding the right place for the right seed, which makes a difference.
Well, Claudia, thank you so much for unlocking the magic of Italy and Rome, especially for us today. So great to meet you, and I'll see you either here or in Australia.
Thank you very much. Look forward to come to Australia and keep having fun, keep having good food.
Grazie mille. If you have all finished, we're gonna keep going towards the fish side, and we're gonna see and discover some Mediterranean fishes, which are definitely different from what you can find in Australia, in the States, or in Canada, but the same things you can find in Germany. Bluefish. Bluefish is my favorite. It's a bluefish. We call it bluefish. Sgombro. Sgombro, anchovies, sardine, and merluzzo. These are blue fishes. Blue fishes are small little fishes that you can only find in the Mediterranean Sea. And they are super rich of omega-3 and omega-6. So it's the largest amount of omega you can get out of food. The sgombro is this one, which goes very fast because it has got the best price for the greatest quality. So bluefish is way cheaper than the big white fish, like the dentice, what you would call snapper, what you would call sea bream. And the bluefish is a very amble fish, but it's definitely the most nutrient fish. And Italian fishmongers are usually full. Now the little sardines are gone because a lot of people, they do love to buy anchovies, to fry them, to cure them, to put them in the pasta, in the spaghetti, are the best. And of course, you will always see clams, mussels, and sadly, blue crab today. Blue crab is a pest that arrived, is an imposter that arrived from China.
Really?
And now is knocking down our sea. So the clams price is gone up wildly because the blue crab eats everything it finds. So now you can find it at the market because the best way to get rid of it is start to catching it and eating it. Yeah. But as Italian, we are not like, we're not in San Francisco. We don't know how to cook crab, so I've never bought it in my life. So this is definitely the corner of the blue fish. We can see the sgombro, we can see the beautiful, the name is given by the color of the skin. So they have no flakes, the skin is smooth, and it's quite bluey, blue goldish, the little sgombro. And this is the blue crab. And these are the sarde, very popular to make sarde fish balls.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinenat.deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.
Peace.